Hey, Wembong World Entertainment, and episode 5 of Starfleet Academy is here. I don't even know where to begin with this episode. Talk about a disaster. This has to be the single worst episode of Star Trek in the entire 60-year history of Star Trek, and does so much damage to the brand. It's unbelievable. Yeah, this is the episode where Sam, the hologram, goes looking for Cisco and what happened to Cisco. And it's ridiculous because we know what happened to Cisco. They even mentioned what happens to Cisco in the actual way that it happened to Cisco, and yet they still try and say, we don't know what happened to Cisco. It's like, what? What makes this even worse is that Jake Sisko is in this episode. Cirroc Lofton himself is in the episode as Jake Sisko. Now, he's a hologram of Jake, but Sam goes to the Sisko Museum, and that's where she sees the hologram of Jake. You can play a hologram, and it's him talking about his father and blah blah blah. And he's at the end of the episode as well, where he basically appears to her. It's all in her mind apparently, but it's basically him telling Sam, no, you're great. It's like, oh no. Do you know what she even says as well in it? She does that thing that everybody just hates. She says the line, Captain, oh my Captain. It's like, oh no. Oh, by the way, this episode absolutely 100% confirms that the Klingon Jaden is in fact gay then, because yet they've actually proven to us all now that he is gay, that he's got the hots for the War Academy dude, and those two practically hook up. They don't have a little kiss or anything, but they're getting very close to it. It's like, oh god. You're gonna see videos throughout this, because I have to put them in there, little mini clips, just to show you what they've done with this episode. Number one, it's wall breaking that Sam speaks directly to us. Now, people might argue, but hang on, they actually did an episode of DS9 like that where Cisco was talking directly to us. No, there's a difference. It comes off like he was talking to us, but he's not actually talking to us. It's his log that he's just saying, but it plays off like he's breaking the fourth wall. Sam is breaking the fourth wall, and you can see how, like, once you see the videos and stuff throughout this, or the clips I should say, you will see how they start the episode by saying it's all about me and all this crap. This crap keeps coming up throughout the episode. Sam, she's just the most retarded character in the history of Star Trek. It's like, my god, what are we doing? Now, the funny thing as well is they never, even in the museums and the history classes and everything for Cisco, you never see an actual image of Avery Brooks, which I think is hilarious, because that just says to me that he said, I don't want any part of this. Do not use my likeness. That's what that says to me. Because, like, there's silhouettes of him. His uniform is there. Like, she's in the Benjamin Sisko Museum, which is meant to be in New Orleans, and there's not a single image of Cisco. It's like, okay, do you know what is there? Yeah, there's an image of real Star Trek, because we can see an image of DS9, the Defiant, and stuff like that. You're just like, and of course when Jake shows up, it's like, oh no, why? And he's talking about how much of a great father he is. Now, Sam wants to go on this mission to discover what happened to Cisco, because he's a prophet and an emissary. She is an emissary for her people. Now, this is where it gets really weird, because the holograms made her. So it's not the case of people made these holograms. These holograms, she doesn't explain how they were made. And when we see them, they're like a jellyfish, like just colors that look like the shape of a jellyfish. It's like, what is that supposed to be? And they made her and sent her there because the holograms no longer trust humans. And that's why they've sent her to Starfleet Academy as an emissary for them, to see if humans can be trusted so they won't use the holograms again. It's also hilarious that she's like, I'm the only one of my kind. It's like, no, you're not. You're a hologram from a race of holograms, and there's a 900-year-old hologram on the bloody ship. You're not even close to being unique. What are you talking about? You're the first of your kind. So none of that makes sense. But she goes to who is the writer of this episode, who is also the lead voice actress in Lower Decks and a writer and stuff for Lower Decks, and now this, what's her name, Taddy Newsome, or however you pronounce her name. She seems to be, I thought she was just an alien, because you see her in the trailer, and I thought she was just some generic alien. She seems to be at least half Cardassian. Once you get a good look at her, you realise she's the marks of the Cardassian on her. It gets worse with her by the end of the episode. Oh, trust me, it gets worse. But she's trying to set her on a course to, oh, you know, you'll never discover the mystery. Even though she even explains, oh yeah, he became a prophet and all this blah blah blah. So you've literally just answered what happened to Cisco. We know what happened to Cisco. Everyone knows what happened to Cisco. So while she's doing all this crap, we get the B plot, which is the War Academy dude. The ship kind of starts losing a bit of power, and they're like, what the hell is going on? But by the way, it's not in space. They're back in San Francisco. And Ake goes down to him and walks in, and he's this big hologram thing, which you see it in the trailer. It looks like he's walking out of a Stargate. That's a hologram of the ocean, and he's heating a part of the ocean. And they're like, why are you heating a part of the ocean? He's going to meet with some, which we never see, by the way, but some delegate from some other world is coming to try and negotiate like a deal or something with to join with the War Academy, with their own academy or something. And this person has eels as security, but they can't take cold temperatures, so he has to heat a part of the ocean for them. And then Ake just immediately destroys the whole thing, which is meant to be a joke, but it actually destroys the logic of having eels as your security when she goes, what if she needs protection on land? It's just like, oh god. So the B plot is basically Ake trying to help him by organising this dinner where she's going to pretend to be this chancellor or whatever this delegate is. The doctor's going to be a part of it, and so is Tig Notaro, who's just Tig Notaro. She's just annoying, and it kind of goes nowhere, and it's just like, okay, so they're just trying to build a relationship between Ake, Holly Hunter's character, and the War College dude. That's all that side story was. Not like a romantic relationship, just them to try and actually coexist and stuff like that. That apparently he hates her because in his eyes she abandoned Starfleet and all this garbage. And it really is just garbage. The ironic thing is, though, they go ahead and have her put on a voice to try and pretend to be this, you know, other person from whatever world she's meant to be from. The irony is when she does the voice, you can actually understand what Holly Hunter is saying. It's like, oh my god. So when you speak normally, we can't understand the frickin' word you're saying. But when you're putting on a voice, we can understand every syllable you say. That's weird. That's generally weird how that works. So the whole story then is that Sam is trying to convince everyone else to help her discover the mystery of what happened to Cisco. And it's funny as well how all of them just immediately know Cisco. Like, there's no question of like, this guy is like over 1,000 years old. Like, what are you talking about? Who? Nobody even went, who? They were all like, oh yeah, the guy from DS9. Yeah. Okay. It's like, why? Yeah, his name would be infamous in the Star Trek history, but at the same time, after the burn and everything like that, you think some of these records would be lost or something, and you just think people that are especially new to Starfleet wouldn't have a clue who and what Cisco is. So it's weird that they're all just like, oh yeah, we know what Cisco is and who he is. So the image that we were talking about in the preview where Sam is carrying all the food, and it's like, is this food for her? Like, she's a hologram, why does she have to eat? It's not. She made gumbo. She made Cisco's gumbo for everybody. and they're all loving it and stuff. And this is where they decide to go to a nightclub. Caleb says he can do something with her program. I didn't quite catch what he said he could do, but like he makes her hair purple for a minute, then puts her in a big weird scarf thing, and then plays marching band music in her ears and stuff. And he's like, just send me the program and I'll sort it out for you. And what it is so when they go to this nightclub, well, the nightclub is ridiculous. Well, he can do a program that will make her drunk. Not by drinking. She just, anytime she presses it, she increases how many shots she's meant to have had, and she will feel the effects of it. And she immediately hits it to 12. So yeah, you're watching the episode of this moron prancing about, meant to be drunk, and it's meant to be hilarious, and it's just fucking ridiculous. This is where in the nightclub the War College are there. You know, there's a bit of back and forth, and this is where Gay Dan really comes out as Gay Dan, as he's eyeing up the college dude who likes him, and they start having chats and stuff, and the guy even calls him like, oh, you're just a big bear, aren't you? And it's like, what did he just say? It was like, oh, do you know what else they throw in? Do you know what's the host of the bar? Yeah, a cross-dresser. Yeah, I'm not messing. A cross-dresser. This guy walks over as cross-dressing ways. Hey, this is a place for fun. Like, there's gonna be no fights in here. Like, have some shots and just get along. And you're like, oh, go away. Go the fuck away. Get this crap out of my face. It's ridiculous. The whole nightclub thing was just a set. Like, even this tiny little other side story, which was, oh, Caleb's finally gonna hook up with the dumb bitch who Nerdrotic keeps calling Brett Breaker, which is funny. But yeah, but it's just like, it's like, the episode is horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Does she discover what happened to Cisco? No, she doesn't. She fails. Even though we all know what happened to Cisco. And then how it ends is possibly the worst part of the whole thing, and a crime to Star Trek. So not just does Sam, she finds out that Jake Sisko wrote a book about his father. He named it something like, what's it called? Alamaki or Alamacan or something like that. And it's Bajoran for the word father. So he wrote a book about Ben Sisko, his father. But they don't know whether he ever published it. So she goes back to the Cardassian, or at least half Cardassian teacher, something named like Nally or something like that, and she pulls out the book and hands it to Sam, and she's like, well, hang on, is this like he finished it? Because you'll probably find the answers you're looking for there. So it's when she's reading it, Jake appears to her and is like, no, you're worth it, you're everything you can be, and you're in a blah blah blah, you're just awesome and all this shit. By the way, the modern talk in this is crazy. They even say to Sam, oh, this will make you feel wasted and all this type of crap. But that's when you realise that Sam is seeing Jake and talking to Jake in her own head, where she's crying as well, which also has to be a clue that it's in her head, because like, how can a hologram cry? That makes no sense. There is one, I will actually give it this, there is one good moment with the Doctor. I did forget about this. There is actually one good, and it's because of his actual performance in this one little moment where Sam is with the Doctor. They're all there because they all obviously got into a bar fight with the War College. So the Doctor's, you know, he's healing them up, going, let me guess, you should have seen the other guy and all this crap. Sam is still drunk, and they fix her program, and the Doctor says, right, everybody out except you, Sam, and he questions like what she's doing and stuff. And when she says like Cisco, and the Doctor brings up like Ben Cisco, and she's like, did you ever meet him? And he goes, no, but my maker Zimmerman met him, but I did meet Jake and got to know Jake. And she asks him, and this is the moment that's actually good, she says to him like, you know, what's he like, and how did he get over it, and stuff like this, like what happened to his father, like it was taken away from him. And the Doctor, he doesn't snap, but he says quite forcefully like, you just have to get over it and move on. And she's like, but you can't just, and he goes, you do, You just get over it and move on. It's clearly that he's feeling the loss of possibly the Voyager crew and maybe Zimmerman as well, because we know he was very close, or he started getting quite close to his maker Zimmerman. So that was the one decent moment, and again, it was because of the way Robert Picardo actually played that part, that one scene where it was very much more the Doctor from Voyager, just for that one brief little moment. It was like, oh, okay. But so out of what, 5 episodes now, we've had one glimmer of like a decent scene, which was crazy. But it ends after she closes the book and Jake vanishes and you realize it was in her head. The teacher comes up and is like, did you find what you were looking for in the book, and blah blah blah, and she's like, oh, all this crap. And she goes, so hang on, how did you know that Ben Sisko used tomatoes in his gumbo? That was not in, wasn't in any of the records. And she's like, oh well, you know, I was tasked with keeping this book and blah blah blah. And she's questioning, goes, how, Nal is not your last name, it's your first name, isn't it? And she's like, oh yeah. And she brushes her hair back and you see trill marks, and you're like, oh no, don't. The teacher is Dax. That's right, she still has the symbiote of Dax. And she's like, oh yeah, my full name is blah 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 Dax, and Ben would have loved you because he likes people who get in trouble for the right things and stuff like that. And you're like, oh no, you've just added Dax into this, you gotta be shitting me. And then the episode ends with Sam talking. At one stage, by the way, she's talking to the original Jesus, I'm forgetting what you call them now. The orb yolks, you know, the Bajorans open up and they're twirly, which turned off, which I'm like, yeah, they're not supposed to do that. But oh, I forgot one thing as well at the beginning. I'll tell you the end, and then I'll go back to this one stupid thing at the beginning. It ends with her talking to Sisko, saying, like, she's looking at the window, saying to Sisko, oh, if you ever want to talk, Ben, you know, I'm always here, and blah blah blah. And as she's walking away and up the stairs, you hear Sisko's voice. Now, it's obviously they pulled a clip from DS9 and put it in there to where Sisko was speaking. It's not like a new recording. But then it ends with them saying, like, coming up, thank you, Avery. I'm like, thank you, Avery? What, did he fucking die? I was like, he's not dead. And no, he isn't dead. He's not even close to dead. But it's like, he didn't record anything. Why did you put that up? Couldn't figure that out. It's weird. The thing I forgot to mention at the beginning, when Sam is breaking the fourth wall, talking, all this crap comes up, we find out that Fish Boy, Durham I think his name is, the bully, the asshole, they give him food challenges because apparently his species, as soon as you eat stuff, it like turns rotten or something, I think they said, or it's instantly digested. As we know, he can't eat and has a bad reaction to bananas, so they prank him and put bananas in it. So he immediately starts throwing up. Do you know what his species throws up? Their puke, their vomit. This is no word of a lie. You'll probably have seen the video somewhere in here. Actually, I'll put it in there at the end while we're talking about this. Yeah, they throw up glitter. No, I'm not messing. Their actual vomit is glitter. Work that one out. Why? Why do they throw up glitter? I don't know. So, there's nothing else to say about this episode. It's fucking horrendous. It is the worst episode of Star Trek I've ever sat down and had the displeasure of watching and now reviewing. It's done so much damage, and the fact that now there's this moron teacher there that's Dax, it's like, oh no. The fact that Jake is actually in this episode, it was like, oh no. And I still think it's hilarious that there's not one single frame of footage or image of Avery Brooks in this episode. And yet it's an episode focusing on him. Just to make... They focus on him to basically use Sisko to tell Sam, oh no, you're fantastic and you're the best ever. Fuck off, show. Seriously, I think after watching all of this, it's just like our reaction has to be,
Go to hell.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Spock. So, what else? Like, apparently, and this is what's even more shocking, apparently episode 6 next week is meant to be even worse than this episode. How in God's name could it be worse than this? I guess we're going to have to wait and see. But there is your episode review for episode 5 of this disaster of a show. So, with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe and hit the hype button and all of that good stuff. Cheers! And I shall catch you if I don't kill myself after watching this. And no, I don't mean in Minecraft. I'll catch you in the next one.